name's Leena and welcome back to my channel. So I've been noticing that I've actually mentioned journaling a fair few times in videos that I've already uploaded, but I never actually went into any depth about how I implement this habit into my life. So I thought I'd make a whole separate video on it today. Journaling has been such an influential practice for me the past few years and even just in my day-to-day life, and I can attest so much of my personal growth to just being able to go inward and explore my thoughts on paper. So I've been writing in like little diaries and notebooks for as long as I can remember, but I think I first learned about journaling for self-reflection in high school when I was about 14. Here's an old journal I found from when I was little. It's really colourful. Looking back, a lot of the things I would write about seem so insignificant. But of course, when you're at that age, everything feels so much bigger and it seems to affect you a whole lot more. So my journals became my little safe space where I could express myself however I wanted without being scared of being criticised for it. And on days when my mental health was especially bad, I would literally just run away from school and take myself to a nature spot. This was like before I could drive or anything. There was one particular beach back in my hometown that was really rocky, but I really loved it even though it would take me like a bus and a train and an hour and a half to get there. It was so secluded and there were like big cliffs all around me and it just felt so expansive and almost like the earth was just like reaching down and give me a big hug. So I would literally just sit there writing for hours and just listening to the sounds of the waves and writing about my experiences and how I felt, and eventually I started learning more about myself. So I would find patterns and things that would trigger me and patterns and things that made me feel happy and grateful. I started discovering who I was and who I wasn't. I was detailing my hopes and dreams in more depth, and I guess this is when I kind of discovered manifestation. So eventually my journaling process transformed and so did my mind, and instead of turning to more harmful coping mechanisms, I would just turn to my pen and paper. Journaling really helps you to process things that happen and your feelings about them. Yeah, your thoughts just don't clutter your mind as much when you can just dump them onto paper and just observe and work through them in like a neutral, just positive way. Journaling has helped me so much. It's helped me, visualize and get closer to what I think is my higher self and set goals and intentions to get there. It's helped me to tap into gratitude so much more often and just appreciate life that much more. Over the years, it's helped me to reflect and discover more of myself on a deeper level so that I can show up more securely and more authentically in my day-to-day life. But yeah, overall, just such an important and incredibly healthy habit I have in my life. And I truly do encourage all of you guys to give it a go if it's not something that you already do. So next I'm going to talk about how I journal specifically. I'll be talking about a couple of different ways that I journal and how you might be able to implement them as well. A lot of people have a bunch of separate journals for like different aspects of their life, and I have tried that because some people make it look so organized and so good, but I never actually end up using all of them. So I prefer to keep just one main one that I can kind of take everywhere, and I just realized it matches my shirt. I also used to try to make my journal super aesthetic, like what you might see on Pinterest, and like I do have other arty notebooks, but for my main journal where I'm kind of just writing, that definitely didn't last either. Your journal is for your eyes only unless for some reason you decide to share it or someone snoops through it, which is not good. So it really doesn't have to be a work of art. To be honest, mine normally looks super messy because I end up writing so fast by the end. You could honestly just use any notebook that you have, but picking a journal that you love is going to help you reach for it more often and just get more excited about the practice in general. I love these ones from Officeworks. I don't know, something about them. They're just amazing. Love it so much that I bought the exact same one in another colour. But they're small enough to take anywhere and have so many pages that you don't have to replace them very often. I do prefer my notebooks to be lined, but I know a lot of people do actually like just the blank pages on theirs. So every time I start a journal entry, I'll always write the date, time and a general location in the top right corner. I normally give a little bit of context in the first couple sentences describing where I am, what the day has looked like so far and what I'm feeling in the present. So this is what most of my journal entries look like, or at least kind of start off looking like. Basically just writing down my stream of consciousness without holding anything back. It's kind of like just writing down a brain dump of your thoughts and almost conversational with yourself. And from there, I'll naturally gravitate and go deeper into certain topics that feel bigger or more important in that particular moment. Sometimes this will be like a very short list of gratitudes that I feel in the moment, and then other times I'll just literally write paragraphs about how grateful I am for everything and how beautiful life is and all of that. But I do try to make sure I include like a little bit of gratitudes in each of my entries, so that way there is something positive in all of them, even if the rest of my writing is really heavy and I can't seem to find anything good. And if you've never done this before, an easy way to start is just by, jotting down 3 things that you're grateful for, even if they're really, really small, at the end of your journal entries. Even if it's something like, I'm grateful for my cup of coffee this morning. Anything. So I normally do this at the start of a new week and month, and will explore and note down my specific goals and intentions for that time period. At the end of the week or month, I'll go back and reflect on what I did or didn't accomplish, and whether the things that I set for myself still resonate with me, and if they do and I didn't accomplish them, how I might be able to incorporate them in the next little time period. So this is a manifestation technique where you'll write in present tense as if what you're trying to manifest has already happened. So you'll describe in very specific detail what you'll feel, what your life will look like, and just express gratitude the whole time while you're writing. You really have to try and include as much emotion and feeling into these entries, and really try to visualize what you want to come into fruition. And it's also really important to do this from a positive mindset and to really believe that you are worthy and deserving of what you're trying to manifest into your life. It's so crazy to look back at past entries and see the things that I've scripted actually coming into my life. There's like little things and big things, even down to like very specifics with the house that we're in now, or people that I might meet, or places that I'm going to go to. Just literally anything that you set your mind to. So when I do tarot readings, I love noting down the cards that I pull and just writing down how this card relates to my life at the time. I usually ask quite specific questions and explore through journaling what the messages might mean to me and how I might implement any actions that are associated with those questions. So this is where you'll explore the more uncomfortable, repressed, and just dislikable parts about yourself in more depth so that you can, work through them and heal. If I'm journaling for the purpose of shadow work, I'll usually have a specific topic that I'm kind of looking to, explore and dive into. I love how the sun goes away when we're talking about shadow work, just ironic, of course. But yeah, this is where you really kind of look into the hidden parts of yourself. Shadow work can feel really heavy at times as you kind of, look in and identify parts of yourself that you don't resonate with, you don't like. Stuff that you might have been pushing down because it hurts to think about. But it is important to work through those bigger feelings so that we can, go through them and let them go. It can be really confrontational and even just eye-opening, and can help you unpack any trauma or just negative behaviours that don't serve you by looking at your past and seeing how that might apply to your present. So normally I will look at prompts that are kind of more specific to what I want to work through, or I'll just explore a certain feeling or thought that's been coming up a lot in my mind. So here are some examples of prompts that might resonate with you. So much of my spiritual growth is due to shadow work that I have done, and I definitely encourage you guys to look into these prompts as well. Lastly, I thought I'd give you guys some more general prompts to give you ideas and just inspire you to go write. Feel free to pause the video and note any of these down if they resonate with you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I definitely encourage anyone who hasn't tried journaling before to give it a go, and if you do journal often, I hope this video still brought value to you and you perhaps feel inspired to try out a new technique or incorporate more ways of writing into your practice. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, whatever you're up to, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next week with another video. Bye bye!